Under the lights, 80s alive, not die. Cowboys locked in, ready to drive. Minnesota, but they're out of their depth. Stars shining bright with every last breath. It's a Minnesota meltdown. Can't hold the line. Cowboys bringing heat, victory's mine. Purple turns to silent, hear that crowd sound. Welcome to Dallas. It's a Minnesota tonight. It's a Minnesota meltdown. Can't hold the line. Cowboys bringing heat, victory's mine. Purple turns to silent, hear that crowd sound. Welcome to Dallas. It's a Minnesota night. It's a Minnesota meltdown. Can't hold the line. Cowboys bringing heat, victory's mine. Purple turns to silent, hear that crowd sound. Welcome to Dallas. It's a Minnesota snowman. It's a Minnesota meltdown. Can't hold the line. Cowboys bringing heat, victory's mine. Purple turns to silent, hear that crowd sound. Welcome to Dallas. It's a Minnesota meltdown.
Commander Chris and Commander D down here in Florida, and we have a new member for the Time Brother Squad. Surprise, motherfuckers.
Se va, sáquenme la botella que funda pa' gastarle. Esta noche tú y yo nos vivimos la película. Luces, cámara, la acción, después en mi recámara. En el duelo no se sabe quién ganará. So baile y bebe, ese seguro y retrocede. Que me encanta la manera en que tú lo mueves.
Solo pégate un poquito, mami, que yo quiero enseñarte lo que yo tengo para ti. Lo que tengo para ti. Sé que te va a encantar como meto yo.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil, and like always, my co-host, Gametime Bryan, is in the house, sir, as we are wrapping up this season. No, it's still got a couple of weeks left, and the Cowboys, as small as it is still in the hunt, and we're here to talk about the next game on the list to possibly make any kind of chances, anything. But anyways, before we do all that, let me welcome in my co-host, and that's Gametime Bryan. Welcome, sir, back to Primetime Studios.
Welcome, Primetime Phil, and we are in the hunt. Yes, we are, man. We can't say that we're not. We are technically in the hunt. We got to win out, and then hopefully we can slide in back door. But I'm doing well. Big fun slate of games tomorrow. All but one game, Phil, is irrelevant. Unfortunately, the only irrelevant game that has no playoff implications in the whole schedule is Giants versus Commandos. So, sorry, Jesse and Momo, but you're irrelevant. At least that's what the schedule says. So, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to see why my chat's not working here, so give me a moment.
Okay, well, I'll talk to the people. What's up, Vinny Hagan, Man of Hawkins Zone, Dustin Bosley, Boats and Hose is in the house, Arturo Gomez, how are you? Chris, Retro Gaming, Grub and Cowboys, what's going on, my man? Dude Rolo, how are you? Hallie Pierce, what's going on? I was at work when I was texting in Mark's chat, so if I like, it wasn't like I could comment too much. You got Coyote in the house. What's up, Coyote? How are you? Who else we got in there? Logan Motorsports representing the Birds on time and ready to go. Listen, we got a big, obviously, game tomorrow night. I hate the night games, people. I
Yeah,
just
I
want to
do.
be honest.
I do.
I
too.
hate the night games, man. Just let me know when you're ready. But I hate the
Yeah.
night games. But we got a great slate of games, and we'll get to them all, in a little bit. But
That's interesting.
prime time.
Let me see if I can get it to pop up now. Nope, it's not.
Okay.
For some reason, it's not. I don't know.
Prayers for Brown University on the shooting. What happened?
Why is
I missed that. I needed that nap after Marks. Yeah, I didn't. I think I took like a 10-minute cat nap on the recliner a little while ago. I was watching something on YouTube and I zonked out. But yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so basically, we'll talk about the whole slate, but the big news of the day is Trayvon Diggs is not going to be activated. Just remember, his 21-day window is coming near an end. He would have to be activated before the Charger game, or he's not allowed to be activated. So he's got another week. There is something going on. I'm getting some hints of what it is. But Phil, he is not buying into what the Dallas Cowboys are trying to do.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I mean, I'm pretty shocked about as it keeps going, because to me, he's one of those guys that would continue to be here. But I just, again, every time more and more news comes out, it's a little shocking to me.
Yeah, and I made a video basically saying he hasn't done much of anything. He hasn't even had any new kids in the last couple weeks, so he's down on himself. I don't know what's going on. The only thing I can think of is that it has something to do with what he's not doing at the facility. And again, you know how much we've heard him say that he does not like zone defense. He does not like zone. So is he not playing the defense as instructed? Again, this is what happens when the organization doesn't tell us anything. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't, but it's very frustrating that when you have a talent, I get it, everybody, he's not what he was. But if he's healthy and the knee's healthy, get him in there. No, Phil?
Yes, I agree. Hold on, I'm still at
West
this
Virginia
thing
Country
not
Boy with the
working.
$5 super chat. Hello, Bryan and Phil. Diggs won't take another snap for Dallas.
I know,
Tom,
it's
I think you may be right, brother. And Tom, you were the first one on that train saying that you don't want to see him play, and I'm okay with it. But they'll just come out and say you're not playing him, because the only body are helping. If Dallas has made the decision that they're moving on from a Trayvon Diggs, which I think we all know that they have, then he's going to be a post-June 1 cut. I'd have to look at the numbers. Just cut me off whenever you're ready, Phil.
Yeah, it's not allowing me for some reason. It's kind of like over, because I started it, I did it the wrong process for some reason.
Yeah, I don't care. I just don't want to keep talking.
No, you're good.
We
You're
can
good.
talk about it. But,
All right, let's go.
Basically, Trayvon Diggs in 2026, you would save $12.5 million as a pre-June 1, and a post-June 1, you would
15.
save $15.5 million and only have $2.9 million in dead money. Okay, just let me repeat. Post-June 1 cut, you would only have a $2,941,000 in dead and 15.5 in cap savings. He's gone. All right, he's gone. So in saying that, they don't want to give him an option, so they're not going to release him now. So maybe, do you think they bring him off IR next week? I think they do still. But
I'm
I don't know, Phil.
I'm a little shocked by, and so every time I kind of think that maybe something's gonna be said to where it'll iron it out, it doesn't seem to, man. And I'm one of those advocates that think that he would play, but again, I have my doubts as this stuff happens. You're talking about, I had a great week of practice, all that kind of stuff, and then yeah, you're still not active. It's it's one of those things. It's, are you trying to do it because you're trying to get your guys back? Are you in the sense of, getting a little bit more playing time for your guys? And this is a team that's obviously hurt in some way in the secondary that you need the help. So to deny that, I mean, usually this team is usually pretty quick about trying to put people out there before they're ready to come back from injury. I mean, this is a new regime.
Yeah.
We don't know that for sure, but I always seem to be, as a Dallas Cowboys, hey, let's put them out there sooner than they're ready. I don't know. Overshown tends, as he's going, I mean, he's slowly being brought back. See how these guys are slowly being brought back no matter what? They had so many snaps. Oh, Quentin Williams brought into the offense, into the defense, and then he still had so many snaps. He had 30 snaps. So either way, I mean, to be inactive, I think that does say something.
Yeah, and against this, even though Justin Jefferson has been down as of late with his, he hasn't had much huge success in recent games, but they still have Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, who should be available. Again, I get it; they have a young J.J. McCarthy, but if he's available and healthy, you would think you would want him. But again, there's something going on beyond what we think. So, but I got some more news with everybody. So Trayvon is out. Some of the good news looks like Jake Ferguson will be in. Again, Jake is nursing the calf. It's a slight calf strain. Looks like he's a go, which I think could help in that defense. CeeDee Lamb, surprisingly enough, Phil, CeeDee Lamb, a cleared concussion protocol 2 days ago. So, and that looked like a nasty injury. I thought maybe they would opt on the side of a caution. I know.
I mean, you sound like it's like the Friday Night Lights or something. They're trying to give him a shot in the back. If they cleared him, I mean, who's clearing him? I'm pretty sure that the NFL is not just allowing stuff to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
I'm just surprised. We've seen almost every time there's a concussion that you miss the following week as well. That's all. Now I understand it's 10 days, but he was cleared early on in the week, so it didn't seem like that was even an issue. But maybe, maybe. But listen, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
We need him, obviously, and we'll get into what we think about in the game. But so CD is in. Looks like Tyler Guyton is out again. He's progressing well, and I think, Phil, we underappreciate Tyler Guyton. I know he's a flawed player at this point, but he is definitely playing a lot better than he did last year, and he's better than Nate Thomas. It seems he will have his moments in the course of a game that you feel like Dak might get his head taken off, but he doesn't totally. His athleticism allows him to be, do fairly well. Again, Tyler Guyton, he's probably not playing tomorrow. But I don't know if he was ruled out, but it doesn't look good for Guyton as well. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Everybody else is. Yeah, everybody else is good to go. No Diggs, no Guyton, but let's be honest, people, we haven't had Diggs.
Well, that's why. I mean, that's why. To me, it just sucks because you're not going in. The only way you're getting kind of pick anything back, with him is if he's you're releasing him, so it doesn't even matter. You're not getting anything back. So to me, I would rather try to trade in some way, but I mean, I can understand where you wouldn't get the value.
Yeah. Diggs he's going to be cut again.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm one of those ones
we outlined. Follow the money. Now, if you're following the money, this is if you're following the money, everybody. What's that? Like when they send me shit in the middle of the stream. When you're following the money, I can't share my screen, but
I'm with Ultra. I'm just kind of like, he goes, an organization does not go through all of this drama with Diggs to cut him. I believe they want to fully healthy for the next 3 games to evaluate him properly for 2026.
Possibly.
That's possibly. I mean, that's where I'm like, I'm still, I just feel like I like our prospects. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I've seen him and what he can do, And obviously, I've seen what that he can be blown by as well. But I think any corner really
But
can.
I've also
And we've already
seen
been there.
Yeah, but I've also seen this organization say
Get pissed off with people.
that, yeah, that we're going to be Mike as a part of the future. I think that trade, I know it shocked me, at least the timing of the trade. They just had enough. And then to hear Jerry say it, to hear Jerry talk, he knew for a while.
Yeah.
West Virginia Country Boy with the $2 super chat. I hope they trade Diggs, not cut him. You would save more by cutting him. Well, I don't know how that works. How does that?
I want some value. Like by this point, I understand that whole. Yeah, and I get it. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I would love to trade him, but
I'm all three. I would like to trade him. I'm okay with the cut because of the money and who you're gonna sign with that. If you're taking that money and signing Pickens with it and stuff like that. And then I'm good with him being on the roster. Just again, it's one of those things. Just don't drag it out extremely long. Don't let him be. And what I got to give credit to at least is the fact that under Schottenheimer, this regime is, it doesn't matter what you're making. It doesn't matter who you are, what position. It's like, if you're not part of this culture, you're not part of this. It's just like, you ride or die, kind of shit.
Yeah. I looking at the contracts, expect Kenny Clark has no more guaranteed salary after this year. Looking at it, nothing guaranteed. His salary cap hit will be 21.5. So if you cut him, you save all.
And it's not even really a cut thing. It's just more of a, can you restructure?
Yeah,
his contract,
you're gonna re-sign him. Because I heard that narrative with some of these Vachi people. I'm not saying Vachi, but Vachi-like people, where they look like, they're just gonna cut Kenny Clark. There's no way in hell we're cutting Kenny Clark. Not even if you draft one. He's a part of the FU Micah strategy. He will be returned, re-signed, extended out, and I would even assume Quinnen Williams as well. I would want to extend him out. Yeah. Pay him, and again, let's build something around these boys. These older guys, and either one is that old, can go for at least 3 more years. So I would look to do that. But Trayvon is an intriguing situation, to say the least.
I think you have to kind of, like, if you could package it with like a team that already has maybe a young corner that's trying to make it, like, okay, like Jacksonville. Like, if you were to, like, trade them off to Jacksonville, like, that's a team that could probably be like, oh, Jordan Lewis is here. He can vouch for him, like Diggs. And then, Travis Hunter. Like, that could be something that maybe the Jags would jump on and that you could kind of, like, build up and maybe get some draft picks or something. I don't know. You got some nice wide receivers, tight ends over on the other side.
Well, I think, and Phil, do you think I'm wrong? I think he wants to come back to get his own value up, and you got to put yourself in Trayvon's situation. If he indeed is cut, which a lot of people think that's not going to happen, but if indeed he is cut, he's going to have options for salary. Okay, he will. Well, look at my last 6.
He's gonna be an Eagle,
my 4 or 5 whatever games. I think we all know where he's going to end up. I would think he's going to end up in Green Bay, but Trayvon doesn't seem like the type of guy who's going to take a team-friendly El Cheapo deal. So he's trying to get his value up. He didn't make that much money. It was a lot, but he's got 9 or 10 kids, so it's not that much.
So that's one of those things where I
hope
as of
stays,
right at this point,
really
really think about this, guys. As of this point, we cannot be surprised about anything that happens with Diggs. So you can't sit there and, people can't turn around later and go, oh, nobody saw this coming. No, man, we're not really surprised by anything. He's riding the freaking bench technically right now. That's something we wouldn't even thought of. Oh, well, he's just coming back from evaluation.
And my question to you is, if he comes back, are you rotating him, or who's getting less snaps? Because I'm on record of saying, Savon Ravel needs all the snaps in the world. He's a guy. He's your future. He's the young guy. He needs the snaps, correct? I mean, who's taking a step back? Are you going to rotate like you're doing with the linebacker position?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You You're gonna slide Bland in a slot, and you're gonna have Diggs and Ravel. I love
Dude,
that.
my whole thing is that when I look at any kind of secondary, if you can put Diggs, Bland, and Ravel, and then Carson as that, like, whatever, flipping around, and then you work on your safeties. I like that. I like that combination of, can they stay healthy? I think that's always the biggest thing. Is just, do they bring them back to get value so they can get rid of them because of they already have enough people on the roster. It's like, well, we have to worry about him all the time. There's just some guys that are able to stay healthier than others. And unfortunately, we have a handful of people on the roster that's not like that. And so it's kind of like you almost want somebody to kind of counter that a little bit.
Agreed. Let me ask you something. What do you think George Pickens is going to do this week? Do you think, like I do, that he's going to be a monster?
I think
in
he
this
is.
game?
Well, here's the thing. It's just like his history, and I'm going to say it is when he disappoints his team, he comes back. I mean, it just shows his history, because guess what? This is a repeat of history. He does this. I like, a lot of people are quick to turn.
Player.
Yes, he is. He is. And
that you're bad.
No, when I look at him, he just one of those things. It's part of his chemistry, and unfortunately, it's just, you hope one day it kind of clicks. But as of right now, I mean, again, I pointed out a handful of times where he's done something, and then the next time he's kind of gone off. The fact that, how many games has he played basically, in the season, and really he's only disappointed you one game really, and so, I mean, there's been disappointing points, but he'll usually make up for it. So, to me, I really like the gamble. Obviously, you're going to have your moments. I think any of those guys are going to have their moments, You're not paying them to be the leader, right?
No, yeah, well, we've already been, Dallas, when they pay you money, they expect you to lead in some capacity. That's another issue with Trayvon. He just refuses to
see Logan. Logan
What's
says,
that?
Phil Bryan, what do you think Justin Jefferson is going to do tomorrow? I expect somebody to go off. You know what I'm saying? I expect somebody to go off in the secondary. I don't know who's going to be. Might be Justin Jefferson. He hasn't been playing extremely great, but it's kind of be like a Marvin Harrison situation where he hasn't done shit, and then all of a sudden he just goes, "Ooh, okay, I busted 120."
I think a lot of it's going to really. It's not so much the receivers. The receivers haven't changed. They're still really good. It's the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, and the offensive line. You got to remember.
But if you're playing
Christian
zone,
Darrisaw,
again, any quarterback,
But Christian Darrisaw, if you put pressure on the quarterback, we've seen this, his defense lock down and be all over.
Well, that's
the
part. That's the part that I do like, is the fact that if you could pressure this younger quarterback, and they can pressure, it's just will
Vinny
they?
Hagen, what's up, brother?
And this Minnesota team has dumped a lot on their defense, and that's where, hey, the matchup, that's going to be where it's going to be very interesting.
Well,
but when I looked on the other side,
Clowney's back. Jadavian's back, Phil. So that's a big. Is that what you were going to go with?
No. I just think it's funny.
Anyway,
I mean, this is kind of where we're at, where we have to kind of hold our breath and cheer that Javonte, Clowney is basically back. It just sucks. Because obviously in the offseason we need to fix that. We need to have a weapon. Easy needs to make the step up. He's had an amazing year, but that's where we're at. It's just he's not Pro Bowl material. He's not that. And I'm not saying but that's where he should be. He should be the backup, filling that role when the starter's not in, dominating and kicking ass. And unfortunately we're not there, and we're not one season off of Parsons being gone, so there's a little bit of a leeway, but this offseason it just kind of needs to be one of those main.
We're getting an edge rusher in the first round of this draft. We are. It's just a matter of who. I'm telling you now, we're getting an edge rusher with one of those 2 first-round picks. Don't expect us to trade out of there. Everybody's saying we're going to trade out of that second pick. It's a lot easier said than done. We'll see where all the chips fall, but expect an edge rusher and a linebacker possibly.
Dirty Sanchez. Go ahead.
Sure. Dirty Sanchez with the super chat. Not to toss to throw shade. What CD has let us down in playoff games, that I still trust him, and I'm gonna trust Pickens. Yeah, again, man, and we'll get to our predictions. True. Me and Phil, we don't talk, so I have no idea where he stands. But I expect a monster game by both of these receivers. And we could talk a little bit about it. We don't have to get too specific. The Vikings. I heard Isaiah Stanback say, Phil, that the Vikings pose the biggest threat on the defensive line than any team that we've played all year.
I could agree. I could agree in some ways.
Well, they dumped
a lot of money. They dumped a lot of money into that defensive line in the offseason.
Hargrave, Allen, and another dude.
Jonathan Allen went over there. Yeah, Hargrave was there. Like, there's the pass rushers. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say that. I mean, because they haven't really been playing that way. But that's that offense not being able to really complement them. But they did dump and a lot of money into it. And when you look at those guys individually, they've had really nice careers. So I definitely agree in the sense that they've been up there. It's hard for me to say it's the best defensive line because, there's been some ones where we've had to, like, not to even put Green Bay, but we had to make a whole game plan of getting the ball out early, quick, because of that, because if it was going to be on top of your ass in like 3 seconds. So to me, that is a more dominant defensive line. If you're having to get the ball out quickly, then you had a game plan against that hell of a defensive line. So I'm interested to see if that's the case, but I can see the argument.
Sorry, I was making fun of my wife.
Taking a break. He's taking a break to make fun of his wife. There you go, man. That's all wholesome fun right there. I was taking
a break. I was letting you cook. I was letting you cook a little bit. But yeah, I expect, I think it's a good thing. I think that Jadeveon Clowney's become actually our best overall edge rusher run and actually
does he get re-signed?
That's a tough one. Knowing this team, probably not. But I hope so. But I mean, I don't. Again, if we draft a young one, let me ask you this question. And I know where I'm going, but if you saw like flashes of Sam Williams, but he's kind of a one-dimensional player. He's only good when it's like a Micah-esque, where he's Micah light, where if it's passing situations, he's caused havoc. He's hell of a special teamer. He's blocked multiple kicks. So would you resign, if you could only pick one, would you resign him or Clowney? Remember, Clowney's 32.
I would resign Clowney. Nothing against Sam. I think Sam is a hell of a player, and I think he is a difference maker in the sense that little small thing. But you know me, I'm not paying that money. I'm not paying him the money that he's gonna want. No, he's gonna want 11, 12. He's gonna want 14, 15. So? Come on, guys, chat. What do you think? What do you think Sam Williams was gonna want in the offseason? That's the part I don't want to. That's the part where I don't want to pay. Is that Sam Williams? I was making blocks and I was doing this and and you were missing a shitload of stuff. But I think I do like him. I do like him on the roster. I do, but I just don't find him as that starting guy. So.
And you know what else I wanted to ask you since we're talking, and we'll get back to the matchups and stuff. But what the hell does a canine have that he continues to get a shit ton of reps over Logan Wilson? What is the issue with that? You have the owner coming out and saying, well, we expect Logan to get more, and he's been able to study the tape more, and he should get more snaps. I don't understand. I mean, Kenneth Murray, I don't know, man. His instincts in this defense, it's bad. It's just not good, and they're adverse. This is what I'm so annoyed at with this franchise, though. I'm not trying to be negative, but we draft guys like Marius Leofau because we trust the defensive coordinator. Then we fire said defensive coordinator. Then that draft pick sits because we bring in another defensive coordinator. And then he has his guys and his style, so it's just frustrating. If Eberflus is going to stay, I think that Sam Williams is long gone, and they would. I think, to your point, they would probably bring back Clowney. They just got to find a coordinator and stick with it. You just can't keep having these drafts, right, Phil? You end up with a team that's kind of disconjointed because they don't fit the scheme, right?
Well, to me, I was gonna point out the fact that it was like, well, Schottenheimer can do it with the offense and everything, but he was actually the coordinator. He was kind of here before, and so he knew the guys. So Eberflus wasn't. But to me, it's not rocket science when you see these guys and what their abilities are. I mean, it's we got a man coverage type of secondary. I just don't understand why, with the front, you can play your front stuff and still have man coverage in the background, and then have the zones and stuff like that, whether it's two or three high. I just don't understand his whole this is all I know. I don't know how to call anything else. I really don't know. I don't know if he's just thinking of the future pieces. I'm going to be here, so I might as well get these guys understanding the defense of now and what we're going to do in certain situations. That's why I'm pushing through this stubbornness. I don't know because I'm not in the huddle. I'm not in those conversations. I just, we sit here and we're baffled because, we want him to change some stuff. But then there's certain times when we suggested defensive fronts, and then that's exactly what they came out and did. I mean, I remember that Raiders game, they came out with those 3 defensive tackles, and then they had those 2 edge rushers right off the side, like we were mentioning before. You can't do that all the time, and I think they've done a great job of rotating. There's been some times that we've got blown up, but again, when you're looking at the linebackers like Murray, you're sitting there going, what the hell? Like, who's he have pictures of? Like, he has some kind of bribery pictures of somebody. Right. Because, man, he is out of positions a lot of the times, and he's not good at breaking down when the running back's coming, and he goes to stop and start shuffling his feet, and then he cannot, and then the running back runs around him, and he's just like, okay, what the hell was the whole point of you shuffling your feet if you basically just kind of stopped yourself? So I think there's a lot there, and hopefully, they listen, and Wilson's going to play a lot more. I think Wilson should play a lot more, and then Leaf out, and then maybe Murray as, we have no fucking other choice kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of I think we got bodies there that I like, but I expect Logan Wilson to see more time.
Thank you,
obviously, you got Overshown is getting the majority. He's getting more reps than anybody, and everybody forgets his lack of playing time. His games played. He needs games played. He's only going to get better. He was not a perfect or a finished product, but I'm just excited to get another guy in there, another young stud linebacker in there. Keep Logan Smith. Let's move on from Kenneth Murray. Again, I just think they make promises and to these players. Sorry, this is the pros, man. If you're not living up to the standard, you got to sit. Maybe you'll earn your way back on. But listen, that's about all the negative I got. I mean, I expect this team.
Yeah, I love the bright spots. A lot of bright spots.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about this game tomorrow. But
I'm feeling good about the game. But again, like I said, before the trade deadline, I was this feeling of like I was expecting this defense to make this type of leap in the offseason. Okay, and again, they're whatever they're ranked. We all understand how they're kind of middle in the pack, and they played some good. They played really bad last. It's again, good offense. But again, I expected these kind of improvements to be done in the off seasons and us to be kind of battling to be that. So to me, to already be there and to be going into this off season, able to make it more improvements, I really look forward to the future of this team because I think there's a lot of, again, pieces there that we have, even with depth. That's the biggest key as well too. It's just the depth. When guys are out, can guys come in and fill those roles? And we've been seeing that. A lot of them have been, but a lot of them have been showing some stuff. Like for example, I think Elijah Clark, is that a guy like I look forward to his future in Dallas, and I think he'll make a hell of a guy in the secondary. He's made plays again in his college, high school, stuff like that. So I'm interested to see what he does as he moves forward. So again, a lot of little bright pieces in this team, and I want to add more. West Virginia Country Boy with the $2 super chat. Why do you keep playing Murray? He sucks. Again, man, like when we look at it, it's just, what are the other guys doing worse? It's almost, or is it packages? Like there's certain packages for certain guys, and you just happen to be, we need to run this package, and you happen to be the linebacker for that package. Is it that? or again, it's just stubbornness. Oh, we went out and got this guy. We really got to try to show his value. Let's keep putting him out there, and hopefully he'll start making plays and make us look better. And then he just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Man, I heard the name Fernando Mendoza. What's your thought on him? I know, we're ways from the draft, but it does creep on you quick once the season's over. Fernando Mendoza, QB of Indiana, who just beat Ohio State.
The one with the badass interview and stuff. Oh, I don't think God.
as an ex-quarterback,
he beat Oregon too. I've only seen when he's been playing live. I haven't really been able to break down, but I hear great things about him. I don't expect him.
Big boy too.
I think he'll be one of those top quarterbacks as well. I mean, he interviews very well. Is very funny. Good personality. People will rally around him. I think. Once the combine and everything else happens, he'll definitely be one of those quarterbacks that everybody's pushing for in the top of the draft.
Yeah, man. Just I think it was Ultra who brought him up. And then you got Dante Moore. Obviously Oregon quarterback. I don't know. I kind of like Mendoza, but over Moore. But yeah, we got plenty of time to talk draft. But it's just interesting because right now the New York football
coming out of this one.
Yeah, the New York Football Giants sit with the number 1 overall pick, and they're going to go defense yet again.
I think you trade. I think you trade out of that. If you're not going to go quarterback, obviously, which I don't think they will.
You got to trade out.
You got to trade out, get more.
Something.
Yes, you got to trade out, get more value, and then go from there, man. I mean, right now they got a good team. They got
some good guys. Utah's got some good linemen. So I don't know, Jesse. If you're watching, you're probably not. Hey, Tim.
I can see that, Ultra.
How are you, brother?
I think it depends on what happens in this college football, right? In the playoffs here.
Eagles. Drew's asking if you would draft a quarterback.
No. No, just because we don't have those picks in between. If we did, then maybe. If you're going somewhere 4th or 5th. But I would still wait. I mean,
Now they haven't.
I'm not saying Milton is anything, but he's at least enough to be a little bit of a flashy young guy.
Right now, we got 5 picks without counting the comp picks. And the way Chat Sports, Tom Downey broke it down, we're in line to get 2 fifths. So right now, as it sits here today, we got 16, 28, 115, 156, and 177. But you'll get 2 5s on top of that. So you'll have 7 draft picks. I just don't think Dallas is going to trade out of that second slot. I mean, Dallas could trade down, but I think they're going to stick and pick with. Let's say it's.
I think they would too. I agree. I would agree as well too. There's no point in getting that.
They're going to trade the 28.
No, I don't think. I don't think they do.
Unless
again, unless it's something
I would like
of.
it, but I would want to see who's there. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but
okay. Let me say. I'm not saying somebody would. And again, chat, don't ridicule me here. But let's say somebody's, the 28. Let's say they have the 28th pick. That second pick. You already picked your pass rusher or whatever like that. And a team comes in and says, "We'll give you next year's first, and we'll give you this year's our second and third. So 3 there. Would you take that?
What was that?
Next year's first, and then this year's second and third.
I would definitely do that. Yes, I would definitely do that. But I don't think you'll get that for 28 unless it's like a late second.
You may. I mean, what did the Giants come in with when they did theirs? Like when the Giants came back in and got Jackson Dart, what did they traded it for? Like, what did they get for that?
Yeah, I'd have to. I know they gave up a nice amount.
If maybe if you guys know.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring up a draft, everybody, but we're just, again, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the topics of the day. Mendoza, they're saying Moore may go back to college per Ultra. Again, we'll see. But anyway, we can start breaking down some of these games. Did you find
actually
it?
Not too bad. Yeah, they did a pretty good job.
Bang, bang.
I think so.
Look at this. Bang, bang.
They did the second and third of 25, and they did the third of 26. So they actually did a really good job, I think, not having to give up that first or anything.
Yeah.
Chris Dooley says, question, which one of my Cowboy teams or my Washington team finished with more wins at the end of each season. The Commanders at 3-10, or my Wizards at 3-20. No cap.
No caps. Yeah. I think the Wizards will definitely. I know what you're going there, though.
That's funny. Maybe that's the
Farm
magic number.
Boy
Something's going to happen.
Mark
in there.
Hutchinson.
Something's
with
going to
the
happen in
$10
March.
super chat.
Something's going to happen in March.
Right.
Just because.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And again, I apologize. Somehow I think I need to I guess I got to turn on a switch and then connect it or something like that. That's weird. So I apologize, guys. I can't highlight it.
He's busy these days. Game time. You're talking draft very soon. Drew. It's just I was going with the chat, brother. Again.
Yeah.
Don't worry, man.
Yeah.
You won't be far behind us, my man. You'll be a couch boy. You may be a couch boy sooner than us if you don't get your head out of your keister. So you may be a couch boy again, sooner than us. But all right, let's start breaking down some of these games tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, like we saw the Atlanta Falcons stun the football world in a 29-28 victory over a choking Tampa Bay team. Crazy. That was a crazy
I
game.
mean, again, a team that we're not really surprised that dropped it to the Saints. I mean, a team much reminds me of the Cowboys, where you have stuff right in your hand and you kind of just let it slip, and you shouldn't be struggling against these particular teams.
Yeah.
But there you go. I mean, you would say to me, it's like, oh well, it's a divisional rivalry. Well, it's Kellen Moore in your division, so he doesn't really know you yet. So it's just the rest of them maybe do, but it's kind of crazy that they turn around and they drop another one. I mean, Mike Evans already hit to the locker room before they even kicked the field goal, all pissed off, and I think
Mike Evans was pissed.
Yeah, he was.
He was heard saying 3rd and 28. 3rd and 28, and there was no penalty to bail him out. It was ridiculous, very ridiculous. So, but anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. The Chicago Bears at 9-4 host the 3-10 Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
The Shedeur Sanders for the rest of the year. It's already been announced.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's played well. Again, I don't know who he has to throw to, but
let's be real. And I think, again, you play well, but again, you get to play loose when there's nothing on the line. You get to go out there. You don't have nothing to lose. You just sling it. But I think it's a good chance for him to kind of get loose. Let him he's the thing, man. He's gonna Jameis Winston the shit out of his beginning of his career. He's gonna throw some touchdowns and he's gonna throw some interceptions to kind of go with it and top it off. I expect more of that shit this game. Excuse my French, because that's how it is. It's just shitty all around. I like what Chicago's doing. They've slipped there a little bit, but otherwise I think they'll build back up, and this is a great test for them in the sense, at least a pass rusher that they'll have to contend with. But I like Chicago in this matchup.
Yeah, I think Chicago early in the week. I'm like, Cleveland, Myles Garrett, they could pose a threat, and I think they could, but not enough to win. This is a weird game to me. One of those outer conference games where Bears have a big game against next week, kind of a look ahead, so it's kind of a sandwich game. At least it's at home. So I think it's an ugly, closer game, but I'll take the Bears. Next game on the docket, the Cincinnati Bengals, 4-9. Joe Burrow, we could take a minute to talk about him, but 4-9 Bengals host the 6-7 Baltimore Ravens. Joe Burrow.
Didn't we just talk about this shit last week? I swear we just talked about this game. Like, is it?
Yeah. Maybe they played.
I mean, maybe it was really close, like the Washington game for Philly. that whole thing where it's really, really
Burrow
close.
is saying he's not having fun playing the game anymore.
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
Fear that he's gonna. Like an Andrew Luck type situation.
Well, it doesn't feel fun when you're not competing for anything. You're just going out there and playing football games. You're just going out there right now to finish out this season, and there's no for nothing. I mean, you're not going to get into the playoffs. So you win out. You never know. I think it's always. They're still right there, right? I think they put them as a possibility because of how all this shit could happen. But I understand what he's saying. how often are they competitive? And let's be real, it has a lot to do with him and that offensive line. They need to get people that can block for him, and if they can keep him upright for a damn season, maybe they'll do some shit again. I think he really LeBron's that team where he just, a team that's not as good, he kind of just elevates them higher, and they takes them a little bit further than what they should be.
He's not having fun anymore, but I'm a little annoyed at Joe Burrow. They brought back all of his weapons. They brought back all of his weapons for him. He cried, he wanted this, he wanted that. But I know he needs an offensive line, and that's egregious that they haven't done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it is. But who do you have in the game?
Oh, man. I would like to take Baltimore and think that they could take care of business, but they haven't been doing shit. I'm going to go Cincinnati in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you. Even saying all that, Cincinnati wins this game. It's nasty weather in that part of the country. It's nasty here. I'm getting 4 inches of snow tonight, Phil, so it's not good. So it's cold. It's cold down here. So I'll go with the Bengals. I think the Ravens have mailed it in. And it'll be scary because the Ravens will bounce back and be dominant next year because they'll get all these high draft picks. But, it is what it is. Yeah. Speaking of Baltimore, Eagles drew. The Navy came back and won, man. What a game. I was watching the Army-Navy game in M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. They rotated from Baltimore to the Link. And I think New York, I think Meadowlands is or the old, MetLife, I think they include in that. But yeah, shout out to the Navy midshipmen for getting the job done against the Army. It was hell of a game. But yes, the next game we got here is the 6-7 Kansas City Chiefs take on the 9-4 Chargers. I'm gonna go Kansas City Chiefs here. Everybody's written them off. I think they're gonna win. Chargers are, to me, I just don't think they're that great.
Oh, you gonna say that? Yeah, I probably agree. I mean, right now you got a quarterback that's still playing with one hand. Kansas City has a little bit something more to try to prove. I think the Chiefs defense is going to be able to get to him a little. I mean, Eagles had 7 sacks.
Well,
it's one of those things. I mean, you see, there's certain quarterbacks that have problems with other certain quarterbacks. I mean, I always see Patrick Mahomes has a little bit of trouble with Burrow. I think it's the vice versa right here. I think Herbert always tends to kind of not really match up well with him. But I'd like to see him really kind of bring it. But I'm going to go Kansas City as well. Don't be so surprised if the Chargers actually do pull it off. But I do like Kansas City in this matchup.
Yes. Next game, one of the best games of the week when it just comes down to what's on the line and Buffalo Bills really needing the game. New England Patriots 11-2. I think they're a product of their schedule. They are a good football team. I know the Pats fans probably get all pissy, but I just think if you look at their schedule and who they've beaten some tough teams early. But they've racked up the wins here against mediocre talent, against a 9-4 Buffalo team.
When I look at this team on both of them, New England, again, I think you're correct. They're definitely a product of the schedule that's been placed in front of them. But again, talent that's finally kind of developing and showing off a little bit. And when you look at the other side, I watched that Buffalo game last week where they actually won it. And as much as Buffalo won it, I felt Cincinnati more lost it. And because they were kind of just running away with it most of the game, and when you really looked at it, when Buffalo really needed to score, there was no wide receiver that he could trust, Josh Allen. And I think at some point that again that's going to bite him in the ass because it feels like even when he had Diggs and all that kind of stuff, there was nobody really there to throw it to, and he didn't really trust anybody else to throw it to. I think when you're shooting it out like that. Unless he's going to be running it all the time, I think this New England team is going to do well against matching up against a running quarterback. So I got to go New England in this matchup just because I think Buffalo is in some ways struggling without really struggling right now, and it's going to pick up.
Yeah, I'm going to go Buffalo here. They're a more desperate team. New England. Let me see here. They don't have nothing wrapped up yet. There's still 4 games to go. Looking at the New England schedule here, this is a big game, so I can see where you're coming from. They're at the Patriots, at the Ravens, At the Jets, home against the Dolphins. That's not that tough. Yeah, Ravens could be interesting. At the Jets, that's going to be a win. At home against the Dolphins, that'll be a win. The Dolphins will be mailing that in. It'll be freezing in New England. So this is Buffalo's last real stand, if you ask me, for trying to win the division. Their remaining schedule is at Patriots, at Browns, home against the Eagles, home against the Jets. So they're looking at a possible winning out. So I love Buffalo in this game. I think Buffalo has to win. They're the more desperate team. They're going to win. I think they still may come up a little short, but you never know. You never know. I think Buffalo, I think they roll tomorrow. I think they win a close game, but I think their offense is...
and they roll. Okay.
Yeah. In New England, yes. Next game, this is the one meaningless game on the docket. The Washington Commanders at 3-10 visit the 2-11 New York Giants.
Wow!
Look at Phil. Look at him.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna predict a tie.
I'm going Giants.
I'm gonna go on a weird limb, and I'm gonna say tie.
I think the Giants are gonna be idiots and win this game. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah,
I think they win this game.
Yeah.
The Giants moved to 3-11, bumped down in the draft stock. I think Giants at home. I think Jackson Dart's playing good football.
Yeah, I mean they actually have their starting quarterback. I think if any of them, I would put them more as a favorite. Yes.
Either way, I mean, I feel bad for Chris Dooley. Again, the Commandos. So, Chris, he's still in the chat. What do you think goes on with your head coach? He's not in jeopardy, is he?
He'll be back in Dallas next year.
Yeah. Hamburger, I would love it. These are all 1 o'clock games. Jeez, because the other 1 o'clock, there's multiple.
There's more.
Wow. They will keep him another year, Chris Dooley. Okay, cool.
I think so.
Philadelphia Eagles, 8-5. Lost 3 games in a row. Again, leaking oil. Half the fan base wants Jalen gone. The other half, is behind him but holding their breath. Against the 2-11 Las Vegas Raiders. It's a 1 o'clock game. So think about that, Phil, that the Raiders are coming across country and playing a 1 o'clock game, which is really like 10 o'clock
in the morning for them.
So that's a rough one. That's advantage Eagles, but we all see Eagles.
Yeah, I can't. I just, I guess Crosby could always do some shit, and how that's going to be. It's going to be hard to block him. It's going to be tough and stuff. But I still feel, if you can kind of roll your quarterback out in certain directions and stuff like that, and throw those read options, I think I find a lot of success. I definitely could see. I could see them putting a 40 burger on the Raiders on 40? This one. Yeah. Yeah, I could. I think so.
I don't see Eagles putting 40 up on anybody. I could see Eagles maybe running the ball. It's going to be cold and snowy 40. Here. So it'll be interesting. It will not be Geno Smith. It'll be ex-Eagle Kenny Flickett. So that adds a little interesting dynamic. Again, I just don't see the Raiders with any sort of weapons other than Brock Bowers. So it'll be fun to watch if they put Cooper DeJean on Brock Bowers. That'll be a good matchup. And maybe they put Kenyon Mitchell on Brock Bowers.
That's funny.
Maybe they do that. Pick a revenge game.
That'd be interesting. I'd be interested if this is a close game. That'd be very interesting.
Well, you got Max Crosby going up against.
Yeah, I think that's always a tough. That's always a tough matchup. Yeah.
And you have the running back. Okay, and you got Kenny Pickett. I don't know, man. I don't know enough. I mean, like we were in Vegas, we saw the offense. It seemed anemic. So I don't think they can score enough points to beat the Eagles. I think Eagles win a game. I think they run the ball well. I think they run it away from Max. I think they win it somewhere in the range of, I don't know, 30-17, something like that. So it is a blowout. I could see that. So yeah, get your scores up, everybody. What do you see? Now, if the Eagles lose and drop their 4th straight, then I think
especially if you were to drop it to the Raiders, I think that would be the one where if you were to drop this, it's more of the competition who you dropped it to, at what time.
Yeah, 1 o'clock, man. I can't believe it's an early game, but moving along. The next game, the 1 o'clock game as well. Jacksonville Jags, the 9-4 Jags host the 3-10 Jets. A lot of bad football teams.
I think this is going to be I think this is actually going to be a back and forth matchup. It may not be any really scoring to it to be a back and forth matchup. Could be field goals or whatever like that. I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to pick the Jets if they don't have any leader to lead that offense. Going forward, especially against a team that at least has a guy. He hasn't lived up to the NFL hype part of it as well, but it's slowly happening. I mean, look, you got a winning team right now. I got to go Jacksonville on this, and they go into double digits.
Yeah, I agree. Jacksonville Jaguars 9-4. Yeah, I think Jacksonville wins this game. I definitely do. Moving along, yet another 1 o'clock game. The Houston Texans 8-5 take on the 3-10 Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals haven't won a game since beating Dallas. Oh God!
Yep, that's about right. I want to pick Houston in this thing. The matchup. I think Houston should be able to roll with this. They are playing some really good football right now. I wouldn't say really good football, but they're playing good football. Better than Arizona. I don't see this being that team that they kind of bounce it back from. But yeah, I have seen weirder things in the NFL. I'm gonna go Houston in this matchup. This could be an upset as well. I mean, but it'd be surprising.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. Their defense is rolling, especially at home. They're the number 1 defense in the league. I think Arizona drops to 3-11. But this next game is a beaut. It's a beaut, and I'm going to imagine all Cowboys fans are rooting for the Denver Broncos. The first 4 o'clock game, the Denver Broncos, 11-2, host the 9-3-1 Green Bay Packers. Primetime.
Man, I hate this fucking pick. I gotta go Green Bay on this one. I don't want Green Bay to win, but
Jesus Christ.
But it just sucks because I mean Denver again, man. It's just there's no eliteness to Denver. I mean they are capable. I just feel like Green Bay somehow pulls it out of their ass. You know, they have other defensive pieces that they just let Micah get like 1 sack or something like that. Like, oh man, he's the leading guy. But it's going to make them continue to look good. I mean, unfortunately, it's going to go Green Bay in this one. I hope Denver can pull it off.
Yeah, I got Denver. Big time. I love Denver tomorrow. I hate. Sorry, Sledhead. I like Green Bay big over Denver. Yeah, he's a Green Bay fan. So keep shaking your head. You hope that they win?
I hope that Denver wins. Yeah, I hope that Denver wins.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I thought you were talking about Green Bay. I'm like,
no.
We got draft picks on the line.
No, man,
here.
I don't
Come
want
on
them to
now.
win. I don't.
Give me Denver. Denver is looking at a thing right now where let's look at their division. Their division, they could get away with losing. That's the sad part. They're at 11-2. Chargers are 9-4. I already have Chargers losing tomorrow. So with a win and a Chargers loss, they could probably wrap it up. So I'm going to go with Denver just because I can't stand Green Bay. So we're going to go Denver. Mile High. The air is thin. Mike and his high hairline is going to be on the sidelines. Gassing. He's going to be gassed out. They had that big game last week against Chicago at home. And they play Chicago next week. That's why I kind of love Denver tomorrow. So that's a good game though. But this is a great. I mean, this may be the best slate of games all year, Phil. The next game, 4:25. The 10-3 Los Angeles Rams face the 8-5 Detroit Lions in LA. Phil, awesome game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really awesome game. I would like to see if Detroit can keep up with the Rams. Does the Rams split up and everything like that? To me, I think the Rams are the superior team between these two, just because they have the health going on for them as well. But I mean, Detroit has some weapons. Almost Ross St. Brown is a baller. I'm not surprised that he came from an injury and just decided that he's going to kind of TO it a little bit in the Super Bowl.
Right.
But I got to go Rams on this. I think they just have a lot more weapons. They're just a lot, just more of a complete team when it comes even to that defense.
Yeah, I'm going to root for the Rams here. Just to, as Dallas fans, we need Detroit to lose. So again, that's another thing. We want Green Bay to lose for the draft pick, and just maybe they go on a losing streak. Detroit has a tough schedule. Just looking at their schedule, Phil, Detroit has a very tough schedule. Let me look. Bing, bing, bing. Detroit Lions. I think they have a tough schedule. They are at the Rams, home against the Steelers, at the Vikings, at the Bears. So it's not, just 3 out of the last 4 of their only home game is against a decent Steeler team. So I'm going to go with the Rams. Definitely going to go with the Rams tomorrow. Next game is yet not a great game, but the Carolina Panthers, leading their division at 7-6, visit the 3-10 New Orleans Saints.
The New Orleans Saints that are playing spoiler right now. I think that's what their biggest thing. I think their biggest, they went against Tampa. They kind of took it to Tampa because they knew they could play spoiler a little bit against their own division. This is the way they're going to kind of step up and try to play on Carolina and do that same thing. I could see the Saints winning. I don't pick the Saints to win. I still think Carolina is the better team with a running game and a bit of a passing game to kind of complement it when it gets going. I got to go Carolina, but again, I would not be surprised if
it's an interesting game, man.
Spoiler.
Because just a month ago, the Saints went into Carolina and dominated 17-7. So going into the Silverdome, I think the Saints are playing well, and I think the Saints beat them. I think the Panthers lose. It's going to be a good game. Maybe Panthers will win, but I just think the Saints are going to win this football.
I don't blame you. I do
just
not blame you. Yeah.
It's one of those divisional things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you give me the Aints. The 9-4 San Francisco 49ers take on the vaunted 2-11 Tennessee Titans. We did say that the Bang Bang 49er gang, they're definitely a product of their schedule. They've had a very easy schedule, but they still got 4 losses. I'm going to go with the Niners. Phil, I don't see anywhere that.
I could see San Francisco not making it there because the airlines have been kind of canceling flights, and they may have to forfeit their game, and they could lose it in that way. But the NFL would probably still reschedule. But either way, I got to go San Francisco again, unless somehow San Francisco doesn't show up completely and they don't play a game.
Yeah, just an interesting story that came to light. A beat writer in Tennessee, who they fly with the team on the team charter. It was overheard in Cam Ward. I don't know if Tennessee won last week. I'm trying to see here. Let me see real quick. Titans.
What are you saying? He goes, we suck. As you doing the Dak Prescott, we fucking suck.
Yeah, they beat the Browns 31-29 last week, and on the plane ride home, I don't know. Somebody asked Cam Ward, and he goes, "Yeah, we still not playing well, this and that." And a team veteran stood up on the plane and basically said, and used the microphone and basically said, "Don't listen to our young rookie quarterback. Any win in the NFL is a good win. Enjoy it, guys. Yada yada." And that was, the beat writer then uttered what happened on a local podcast or an interview on a local radio station, and he's now banned from the team charter. Again, it makes it look like the team is splintered. Either way, Phil, that doesn't matter. The 49ers roll tomorrow to go to 10-4. But Cam Ward, very talented guy. Do you think he's going to be a bust? Do you think he's a? I mean,
get some. You get some weapons around. Get him an offensive line that can block and everything like that. I mean, how well did Tony Pollard do this year? You know, so you know, I think it was everything. The one weapon they had to kind of release. Ever since they kind of traded off their one huge weapon on offense, it's just never been the same there. And they need to kind of just build the pieces. Give him some time. He just right now looks like a terrible year because, again, he's running for his life. And really, how much running was he doing? Because it felt like every time he was sacked in the pocket. So I don't feel like he was really kind of shuffling his feet around a lot either. But, again, I wasn't watching a whole lot of Cam Ward film either. So when I look at that team, again, you just need to start keep building, but you need to get those meat and potato type of guys and not just the flashy, I'm going to sell your jerseys.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I feel for Cam Ward, but that's a tough one. Next game, this is an incredible story. I love this press conference, but the Seattle Seahawks 10-3 are hosting the 8-5 Indianapolis Colts, who have lost their last 3 games in a row, at the Chiefs, home against the Texans, at the Jaguars. I'm on record to say I don't know if the Colts win another game this season, but let's just let me lay it out for you. At the Seattle Seahawks, home against the Niners, home against Jaguars, at the Texans.
So let me ask you a question.
Indiana Jones.
Let's say Daniel Jones was still healthy and everything. Do you still Colts beating the Seattle Seahawks with a healthy Jones?
It's possible.
Here's a possibility, but I still saw that one as a stretch.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm not here you. But
but now when you take away
Phillip
that
Rivers.
fact, well, practice. I'm not against him. I mean, you know what? If anything positive comes out of this shit, is that Phillip Rivers' wife will get a fucking year off from being pregnant. And so, I mean, if anything, that's a positive. If anything, that's a positive. Good for her.
Just smoldering. Oh God, Leo the Greek said Jim Plunkett was at several different teams. Yeah, I loved his press conference. Did you see Phillip Rivers' press conference? He goes, Phillip Rivers, are you like what kind of shape are you at compared to the last time you played? He goes, you know. My weight's up there, but I was never that mobile to begin with. Phil, he's your age.
Oh, but he's in way better shape. Let me just say that. He was, you know, even
he's
the
44,
sexual things that he does give you cardio. I mean, he's he's got a lot of cardio in his repertoire.
Phil's bitching about walking from the New York to the fucking
Hey, I was wanting to walk the rest of the way, but your ass. But I will agree. My knees were holding up.
Now, all kidding aside, I'm gonna go with Seattle there.
Oh yeah, come on, man. If we're not, obvious reason. I mean, is a possibility the Colts can win? Yes. I mean, the NFL. Remember how this shit is going? I mean, the number one team plays the worst.
The heck with tired.
Oh hell yeah, we want the Colts to win, but. Shit. I'm not gonna take my one wish out of the year and wish it upon the Colts to win that shit. Yeah. I'm gonna wish it upon my own team. Fuck that shit.
All right, we're gonna skip over the Cowboys game and go right to the Monday Night Football matchup. The Pittsburgh. This is actually a pretty good game. The Miami Dolphins have been playing better. The Miami Dolphins, the 6-7 Dolphins, are going to Pittsburgh. The 7-6 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Man. Every time I want to give Pittsburgh any kind of credit, they just shit the bed. I mean, let's be real. And I feel like Miami's kind of the opposite. I'm like, when I predict Miami's going to shit the bed, they pretty much shit the bed. So I mean, but that one's hard. That's kind of more of a big, huge, bullseye on a dartboard. Right. I do like this matchup. I think this could be a really good, interesting game. Is TJ Watt going to play with his whole collapsed lung shit?
No, he's out.
I can imagine he wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. This could be an upset, everybody.
This could be an upset. Oh, man.
This could be an upset. I'm not that much of an Aaron Rodgers guy to think that. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this game, people. I have a weird feeling about this game.
I'm going to pick Miami.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know on that
I'm
one.
gonna go Steelers just because, but I don't trust it.
No, I don't either.
I do not trust it at all. I think the
I
Dolphins
could
could easily
gone
go
the
in
other
there.
way. Yeah.
I mean, you're losing your best defensive player. I mean, they have some good big boys in the middle. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Dolphins are playing good.
They're actually playing well. They actually are playing well without their main weapon that probably won't be there next year.
Dolphins are 6-7, and the Dolphins have won 4 in a row. People.
Yeah, they look better than what Hill was there.
They have beaten the Bills 30-13. They beat the Commandos. They beat the Saints, and they beat the Jets. So there we go.
Man. You could sign
not
Hill in the
beating anybody.
offseason. That'd be a good slot receiver.
Yeah. So I mean, Dolphins. Maybe they have an outside chance. I don't know. They're at the Steelers.
I think they're in the
home
hunt.
against the Bengals,
I think they are in the hunt though. Like
home against the Buccaneers and at the Patriots. So we shall
definitely
see.
not for the winning the division for sure, but at least it's a wild card.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I may go Dolphins in that game. I might. I mean, I think they got some weapons. Devin A-Chain, Waddle. I don't know. Yeah. I want to go Dolphins. I don't trust the Steelers. I know the most of the betting public has the Steelers, but I got a weird feeling about that one. Upset incoming. They're playing hard for that coach. They don't want him to go anywhere. So it's like, why couldn't you do this early in the season when you had Tyreek Hill and all their weapons? But
I could point out to again. I would not put my whole future on Tua. Again, so the fact that he's putting his head coaching future on that kind of a quarterback and not going out, I would almost draft a quarterback. Almost any other option is better than what you've gone with.
But all right, Phil, it brings it up here, man. It brings it up. The Dallas Cowboys, Sunday Night Football, playing for their playoff lives. The 6-1 Dallas Cowboys, winners of 3 of their last 4 since the trade, playing well. Defense took a step back in their 4 games in 17 days. Seemed like George Pickens decided not to show up. CeeDee Lamb went out with an injury. We lost 44-30. Still scored 30 without CeeDee for most of the second half. They host the 5-8 Minnesota Vikings. Vikings visit Dallas. Who do you have, Phil? Or do you want me to go first?
No, you go ahead and go first.
Okay. Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings. Let's talk about the game a little bit. This team blitzes more than any other team in the NFL. Okay? They blitz a lot. So, Dak Prescott, he is near the top of the league against the blitz. Now, a lot of people I trust say that they blitz in a different way where they disguise it very well. Phil, at the snap, you don't know who's coming and who's not coming. That's the issue with the Vikings. You don't know who's coming or who's not coming, but you can guarantee one thing. Somebody's coming, or multiple people are coming. They're going to send more people than you can block. So there needs to be a hot read. Dak can't be not expecting it. He's very good against the blitz. Expect a huge game from both of our receivers. Again, this might be one of the toughest matches against the run. You figure they got Jonathan Allen. They have Javon Hargrave. They have 3 big boys in the middle. This one was a tough one at first. I'm like, some people are afraid of this matchup. I think the Vikings will score a couple touchdowns. You can get some field goals, but I think Dallas almost gets a 40-burger. Almost, but they're going to come up a little short. Dallas 38, Vikings 24. So go Cowboys minus the 5.5 and over the 47.5. If I'm betting the game, I'm going over. To me, that's a little light. 47. I'm going to go over that line. I think they're going to blitz and Dallas is going to have some big plays. Just my opinion.
Yeah, when I look at this Vikings team, it's a different thing. When people try to point out the records, we got similar records. Well, guess what? You can point out the records of the season being similar, but when it comes to these two teams being at this point right now in the season, it's been totally different. When I talked about this Cowboy team after the trade deadline, 3-1. I mean that says a lot against good teams. one team obviously having this question mark, but we'll see tomorrow if they're even able to hang with the rest of the NFC East. But when you look at the Vikings, I mean, last week they took care of the Commanders that did not have a leader, for example. Seattle whooped their ass 26-0, so there was the 1-1. The Packers whooped their ass, that's 1-2. The Vikings lost to the Bears 19-17. So I mean, the Vikings defense kept them in there, for example, that offense and how it was. The Ravens beat them the time before that. So when I look at that it's a different trajectory that this team has been playing at. Now, J.J. McCarthy with this defense and how the secondary plays at times and I don't think it's the people itself sometimes. I think it's not having that great zone coverage skills and a defensive coordinator that just is stubborn as shit and just keeps running the zone. So when I look at this being able to go against this offense with this defense, I think we match up very well to put pressure on a young quarterback and at least get him out of his rhythm. I expect one receiver out of nowhere, whether it's Jefferson, whether it's, I don't know, somebody out of nowhere is going to go off. I think that we still keep it at bay to a certain extent, and I think our offense definitely finds success with this against this defense, even though it may be one of their Cowboys regular traditional thing where we don't do really crap in that first quarter. It doesn't get going, and then all of a sudden you start going very well because the matchups and stuff. And I think Shoddy's a lot better at adjusting to the game than Eberflus. So in the end, I think Dallas definitely runs away with it, and I think the score doubles it in the score, and I think Dallas ends up winning 34-17. And I really like how we match up across the board, even with special teams.
Yes, well, we can talk about special teams. If I see Cavante Turpin, put his hand up one more time. Again, we have one of the worst special teams. I'm talking about coverage units in the league. Everybody, that's how bad it's gotten since last year. We have the best field goal kicker, so that's good. But the actual coverage unit and return unit are horrendous. Again, and we kept CJ Goodwin. I'm sorry, but we're taking up a roster spot for a 36-year-old guy, and it's not showing like it's worth it to me. It's not.
I just noticed Mark was in there, man. What's going on, Mark?
He's been in here.
I apologize then, the Godfather. But yeah, so I mean, I really like how we match up. Again, will it be one of those things where we play down, again, to the competition and we allow them to really kind of, and it's going to be a score to the end? Hey, it's one of those things, man. It's what team is going to show up? Is it going to be the ones that shoot themselves in the foot with the penalties, or is it going to be the one that's a little bit more dominant, able to kind of spread the ball around? And again, I really like when they tell me about the whole blitz. Oh, well, they're great at the blitz. Well, and they blitz most of the time. Again, I really like Dak's success rate. Even if you're delay blitzing, I don't see the problem with that. To me, if you're scanning the field as a true quarterback, you should be able to see that delayed blitz. So again, that really does not bother me. When we've picked up the blitzes, just the times where he's gotten sacked and hit, it's just our guys try to pick up the blitz and then bam, they just failed at it. Let's just be real. I've seen some times where we our running backs have gotten blown up, and Dak has had to kind of real quickly get it out. So we'll see how this all goes, man. But anyways, Bryan, not bad of a show. It kind of gets away from us, I think, in different kind of subjects. But I think this Cowboys team is kind of really where, I didn't expect any kind of tie in the season. But again, where we're at and how we've been playing, is it really surprising?
Well, it surprised me. Not really. I had them 9-8, so it's kind of where I had them. So again, I didn't have them losing to Arizona. I didn't have them losing to Carolina. So those were the two that I didn't have them losing to, but I did not have them tying Green Bay, and I did not have them beating Kansas City. So those are the two that that I didn't have. Yeah. So those are the ones so I've been pretty much on this team, pretty much. So again, it seems like a lot, but it seems like a lot of teams in this league. There's been a lot of easy schedules, and that's why a lot of these teams, like 9-3, 9-4. You have Green Bay, Chicago. You got the Rams at 10-3, Seattle at 10-3, San Francisco at 9-4. That division had an easy schedule, meaning the Rams division. So it is what it is. You play them who you got, but we just got to win the next 4, man. Get to 10 wins, and we'll see what happens.
See what
if
happens,
we miss it,
yeah.
we miss it.
Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, if we miss it, we miss it. We're still picking at a certain spot. So even with those great wins, and if you somehow are looking,
Right.
sitting outside looking in, at least you can look out there. You got a winning season under the first year head coach. So I think that's kind of has to be your goal right now, is just to keep winning and try to one game at a time. And like I predicted this a couple weeks ago, where this is going to happen. You're going to have these. You play, I pointed out the example. If you play the Raiders 10 times in a row, odds are you might lose to the Raiders once or twice out of that matchup. And so I think that's where you point out to the Eagles. Yes, we expect the Eagles to run away with that, but how the NFL is, man. That's why you go out and play them, right? Even the crazy ass team like the Titans can win games right now. They sit there with 2 wins right now, so it's kind of crazy. You expect them to, when you really look at that team, you expect them to have no wins at all, but somehow they were able to pull out some stuff some point of the season. Can still I tried
crazy.
right over the
Absolutely.
mountains, right over the mountains. I can put. So Brian, anything you want to say to the folks before we get out of here?
No, man, enjoy the games. I'll be live tomorrow for the early games anyway. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be curious to see what Eagle team shows up. We haven't seen a good one in a while. They better get their head out of their ass, because as much as we get joked upon about our schedule, we're only 1 game ahead of you in the lost column. So if Eagles can't afford to drop,
What happened?
because we're winning tomorrow. We're gonna win. So I expect the Eagles to win. I think this goes into next week, where it gets a little more difficult for the Eagles, where they have to go to, even though they're not good, it's a divisional game in Washington, whereas Dallas gets to stay home and play the Chargers. That'll be an also good week, but I expect both teams to win. Don't lose, Philly.
I just
don't
unhit
lose, because it'll get ugly for you.
Yeah, so I just unhid him, so don't worry. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be our show for tonight, man. I appreciate everybody coming through, and drop your score predictions. What do you think gonna happen? Again, this NFL season, man, it is, you don't know what is really going to happen around each corner, and I think that's what makes the rest of this season very interesting. Even when teams like Washington, that has no leader right now, and like right now, last week they got their ass beat 31-0. It's going to be interesting. I think I'm with you when you say the Giants are gonna run away with that and mess up their chances by winning the game. But we'll see how that goes, man. Again, Brian, I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate everybody, talking trash, everything, doing the football thing. But one thing I definitely appreciate you not forgetting to do:
Ring that bell.
You guys take care. Everyone take care.
That was ominous. What the was that? What the is this?
Move it like this, move it like that. Si tú quieres ven para acá o voy para allá. Que me gusta la manera que tú lo mueves, cómo te entregas, cómo lo bailas. Okay, move it like this, move it like that. Si tú quieres ven para acá o voy para allá. Que me gusta la manera que tú lo mueves, cómo te entregas, cómo lo bailas.
Con J-Con y con la matrícula. Ella comparte amiga, dice que todo se va. Sáquenme la botella que funda para gastarle. Esta noche tú y yo nos vivimos la película. Luce cámara, la acción después en mi recámara. En el duelo no se sabe quién ganará. So baile y baby, ese booty retrocede. Que me encanta la manera en que tú lo mueves.
Solo pégate un poquito, mami, que yo quiero enseñarte lo que yo tengo para ti, lo que tengo para ti. Sé que te va a encantar como me tuyo.
What the heck was that? Forgot what I was gonna say.